Effortless Mindfulness with Loch Kelly. Experience support for awakening as the next stage of human development through micro-meditations and conversations about non-duality, neuroscience, and contemporary psychology. The premise of this direct practice, which is in many of the contemplative traditions of all cultures and all history, as Mahamudra and Dzogchen in the Buddhist tradition, some of the Hindu traditions, even, Western Jewish Christian traditions, contemplatives of union and unity and humility all at once. So this premise that it's based on is that the awake consciousness is not something that's developed or created or achieved or learning that you build, like learning the piano, a skill, but it is because the awake consciousness is already installed within us. We can recognize or discover or uncover or reveal this awake consciousness as if we're moving kind of from the foreground, thought-based mind, body, consciousness, personality, and the awareness is hidden in the background, or it's hidden in between the words, in between the movements, and we just can't recognize it because we're so subject-object oriented. And then what we're doing is we're doing this background-foreground shift, or we're dropping into the subtler dimension, or turning awareness around, or shifting out sideways from thinking to seeing to hearing to awareness, and then resting as the awareness that is arising as our body, or we're dropping down from head space to awareness to heart space, and then opening up to this feeling of boundless heart. So the sense that it is available and accessible just takes this felt sense learning, and certainly a bunch of unlearning about all the skills that we've learned about how to learn. So we got to unlearn the learning about how to learn, which has been mostly memory and intellect and information, which I guess we could make this one small comment, though we don't need to discuss it further. Basically, what AI does is it does all the information. It can do all the information, but it can do none of what we're doing. And it will never be able to do it because this is the consciousness that is not only human, but is awake human. And information is important and has been what is measured as intelligence. Certainly, even the SATs and IQ tests, are the mental intellect and how it is able to memorize and be facile at mental exercises. So what we're doing is we're finding what's more primary and essential and is not negating any of the information or tools that we've learned or skills, but we're discovering the who or the what is this that feels who we are, the being, rather than the doer or the thinker, right? Not the thinking and the doing of human beings, but the being that has a quality of connection, which we lose when we go to become a doer or a thinker. We lose this connection to ourselves at this essence, and to each other, and to our parts of us that have been repressed. So we're relieving suffering by recognizing this awake consciousness and then discovering connection. And this is the research that has been done lately. That's the definition by Gabor Mate of what is the healing of trauma. And the simple sentence is, it is discovering that we've lost connection through trauma and that we discover connection. So connection is this interdependence, or this interconnection, or this interbeing is what Thich Nhat Hanh called it. And so even within all the best of the relative psychologies, and even mindfulness practices, and even lately self-compassion, which is developing kind of a part of us that tries to feel compassion toward the part of us that feels bad, is really working within this, still this container of the psyche, creating these polarized parts, the part that feels bad and the part that is compassionate toward another part of us that we're calling me, because who's compassionate to who if you're in self-compassion? And but it's why it's difficult for people to send loving kindness toward themselves, is because as soon as you try, you can send it toward, easier ones are easier, toward a pet or a loved one or teacher or someone easy to love. And then you get toward, difficult person. But even the difficult person or enemy, the harder one most people report is, oh, now send it toward yourself. And it's like conflict, because who is the one that's sending it to who? What happens is, just having, worked with people who have come and said, this is what is really difficult. I can't send compassion toward myself. I've even tried loving kindness or self-compassion, is that you split off into the one that wants to feel compassion, then the one who feels like I can't do it, can't find a center, or the center it finds is the judgmental mental center that doesn't have much compassion. So then you have to create another part that has compassion for the part that feels like it's me, but I'm not a compassionate person. How could I send compassion? Let me try. Oh, I'm trying too hard. So what we're going to work with today is, instead of developing self-compassion or self-love, we're going to discover that who we are is already love. So this is sounds pretty radical, but as long as we're doing this advanced practice of awakening, we might as well. So it's not just, kind of new age gobbledygook. It is that if you can find, it's not even compassion. It's really finding that the essential first qualities of being has unconditional love. So unconditional love means there's no conditions. So it's not even compassionate means you have a feeling of love toward some part that's hurt or is feeling badly or something. So you have compassion for, passion, feeling for that which doesn't feel good or is. So this is the fabric of reality, the fabric of love. So it's talked about in, in Hinduism, Sat, Chit, Ananda. So Sat is being, truth. Chit is consciousness, awake consciousness. And Ananda is sometimes translated bliss, but it's certainly more than physical bliss. It's love, love itself. And in the tradition in Mahamudra Dzogchen with Sukni Rinpoche and Mingyur Rinpoche and Toko Urgen Rinpoche, they talk about the three qualities of reality is empty essence, and then clarity is the second, and then the third is compassionate expression. So there's an emptiness. Then the emptiness isn't just centerless, isn't just empty of self, isn't just the absence of self, which some sense of emptiness is talked about as if it's only no self. That's the goal. But that is, in this Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there is emptiness of self, and then there's what's called emptiness of other. But emptiness of other means interconnectedness or interdependence or basic goodness. It means that emptiness is empty of being void. It's connected to unimpededness or union or compassionate expression. So I figure as long as we're here, we might as well give that a go, because if you can get this, the sense of awake awareness is the first door, but it's not the goal either. So no self is not the goal. Voidness certainly is not the goal, but even pure awareness is not the goal. Some systems stop at mindful witness and try to be non-judgmental. Others, no self, as if there's no agency left. So you're kind of free, or you're beyond suffering or emotions. But this is, in this human realm, suffering is addressed, as well as the coming forth of essential qualities, essential nature, which in this human form, at its subtlest dimension, has basic goodness and a kind of ground or safety or well-being, a sense of all is well, and then a sense of connection to everyone and everything, which Thich Nhat Hanh calls interbeing, and then love, unconditional love first. So there's different kinds of love. So it's not just love, or Ram Dass said last thing he was saying when he passed was, I am loving awareness. So that's how he was summing it up. So it's kind of that, loving awareness. But love in, Greek, they have eros, and which is erotic love or romantic love, and then philia, which is friendship love, and then agape, which is divine love. Yeah. So this is more like that. But it's not of a entity. It's the fabric of when awake awareness is primary, and it recognizes that there's not two dimensions, that aliveness and awareness have the same taste. Then there's a essential union, or non-dual ground, which feels safe and cannot be threatened, can't be hurt, and isn't attached to the moment-to-moment, pleasant, unpleasant, even though it feels more intimately human. It's not holding on to that. And there certainly continues to be a process of unburdening and healing of trauma throughout life. That's not a instant mark that I've seen with anybody, having met many of the great contemplative masters of our time. I don't see anybody who's beyond their hearts arising, and most of them don't think that's the point and don't say they have. But the freedom to return to this and that dimension, which we're going to see if we can find of unconditional love, interbeing, that isn't just a meditation experience. That's the key. The key is this is not, that's why I call it glimpsing, because you're glimpsing what's already here. You're directly recognizing and realizing. So the difference between recognizing is when you are aware of the awake consciousness, and then realizing is, oh, wait a minute, I'm not aware of it. It's where I am aware as and from. So it's, oh, it's me, but it's not me. It's not me. Oh, there's the absence of me, and then there's this true nature, whatever that is. It's not a thing or a bigger sense of me or a super me, but it's, and the mini me, the me that we're free from, is not as if, oh, it's just an illusion, or it's not, ultimately it's not real, but ultimately your hand is not real. So it's relatively real. There's a relative personality, there's a relative hand, there's a relative small seat of the self, which these different parts will rotate through. So it's not like you have one ego, at least in this model, but it's not that different because you have these managers or the seat of the functional human being that is led by true nature, but has different unique personality grist, which is different for me than for you or for others, because we have different history, we have different personalities, and it just comes through that. We like different food. It doesn't like it's not like, would you like some tea? What kind of tea would you like? All tea is the same. It's not that. It's that you're alive and well, and there's this feeling of some kind of support and safety and love that is greater than you. First one we're going to do is we're going to do shifting from head to heart space. So this one starts with unhooking awareness from thinking, and we're going to drop to seeing, and then hearing, and then we're going to feel awareness can know your jaw from within your jaw, and drop to be aware of your throat from within your throat, and then drop down. So the key is we're not using attention as we would if we were doing the first practices of mindfulness, where you use like a flashlight or a beam of attention to focus on your breath at your chest or your belly. From here, what we're doing is we're assuming that this, where we're going, this awake consciousness, which is like a sky with a cloud of sensation or an ocean with a wave of, is already inherent within everything. But the problem is physical, mental, emotional, energetic contracts and hides it. So what we're doing is we're unhooking, separating out awareness, and then decentering from this point of view behind our eyes, so that awareness is going to move itself. So we're not even directing it the way we would direct attention to from here, applying the mind to the breath as we would with mindfulness of breath. We're literally unhooking awareness and feeling as if the knowing and the known drop down, because your whole body on one level, even the physical level, is interpersonal neurobiology, that your brain is not only in your head, it's actually in your whole nervous system, which is in your whole body, all the way through the fingertips of your hands, all the way down. So you are located habitually in this small location, feels like you're looking out of your eyes, listening to your ears. But if you let your awareness feel like it can drop by decentering and yet remaining embodied at a subtler level, we can drop into a more heart space or into your whole body, and then open up to the field of this more spacious and pervasive, boundless heart that feels like it's where we're aware from, and it has more subtle qualities available. So that feeling, so if you, as your awareness is unhooking or unblending, or as we ask that thinking part or the mini me, if it would give us some more space, then we let this awareness drop to seeing, move to hearing. Yeah, so let's do that. So that feeling, so if you pop back up to check, like you start to be aware of your throat from within, feel the subject and object, and then you're like, am I really doing it? And then as soon as you ask that question and go to the thinker to check, you're not doing it, actually, because you've gone back to but you were doing it, but now you got to go, now you just start again. You just drop like some people say it's like a leaf going down, or take a glass elevator, or some people feel like it dissolves, their head dissolves as the awareness goes down, becomes more subtle. So whatever that feeling is your own. The key is it's not imagination. So you're not using thought or imagination, though you may initially get an image. It really is a felt sense as much as, like you literally, it's about feeling this here. Like it's more like feeling awareness, feeling space, feeling effervescent aliveness from here to here. Yeah. So let's try that. So again, I'm not talking to you, the doer. I'm not talking to you, the willpower. I'm not talking to you, the mindful meditator. I'm talking to you, the awake awareness. So you, the already awake awareness, I'm asking you to unhook. So this is the radical premise, that we all have this awake consciousness within us. We don't know how to intentionally do it just because we haven't had practice, but it's available and can learn. So the invitation is just to play, to try this, see what happens. Yeah. No big deal. And it's not thought, it's not imagination, it's not will, it's a felt sense of dropping, moving, feeling. So start with the sense of a looker and a thinker and a hearer and an understander. And just notice where in your body is that located. Where are you hearing these words from? Where are you seeing from? And just feel that location that's made of thought, feeling, sensation, and awareness. And then see if you can somehow let awareness move from thinking to seeing. So let thought go into the background, let awareness merge with seeing. So you're still located safely in your cranium, and now let awareness move itself to hearing. So neither the seer nor the seen, now neither the hearer nor the heard, just hearing. So awareness and hearing. And now let awareness decenter and move to feel your face, your jaw, your smile. So feel as if the center is moved to a felt sense of awareness feeling from within and around. And then feel as if the felt sense center drops to feel your throat and your neck from within. So feel that effervescence, aliveness of sensation, feel that space, and feel the awareness, knowing, and the known in the same location from local awareness. And then allow your awareness to drop like a bubble below your neck into your upper body. So feel as if there's kind of a flowing. Now the bubble can get a little bigger. So just feel as if you can feel your upper body from your upper body. So you're knowing your body from within, not from imagination, not from thought, not from attention, but literally feeling the awareness, aliveness, space, and even the kind of spacious awareness inside and out, a little bit porous. And then feel as if awareness can drop, almost like a living stream, like a bubble of awareness, until it drops down subtler and subtler, like inside a cell, inside an atom, into the space, the subtlest dimension of your heart space. So drop the center of knowing and known, deeper than sleep as that which is wide awake. It has no object, but is palpably feels welcoming, so that you're not only aware of it, but you're aware as it, and you're aware from this heart space. So it's almost as if you'd be looking out of the eyes of your heart and feel as if you can sense down through your whole belly and upper torso and just feel your hips, your legs, your knees down to your feet. And then come back up your feet, knees. Now just to feel like what that's like to feel your body from within and come back to this heart space. And then feel as if you just stay in this deep, wordless, loving space, this non-doing, non-thought-based, open-hearted awareness. And as you feel that awareness is not only in the front of your heart space, but it's in the middle of your heart space. It's like a door or a portal as it moves back to the back of your heart space through your body, and then it opens up behind your back and moves at the speed of awareness until it discovers the already awake field of awareness that's always been aware. And it just lets that bubble of awareness dissolve into this awareness that's already here and welcoming, this boundless heart, feeling this freedom, openness, safety, non-fear, non-worry, non-judgment. And then feel this intentionality, this kind of joy or love as that ocean of awareness comes back, arises as your whole body, space, the aliveness, and the awareness, and then looks out or feels out of the eyes of your heart to be interconnected with everyone and everything. Feels, may all beings be well and happy. As you breathe out and as you breathe in, feel the loving presence of this field that you are coming back toward your body, unconditionally loving, compassionate, back through your heart space and back again to resource with the source. Feel the awareness that has your back. And the awareness that has your back, rest aware of it and then rest as it. And then see as this awareness how you feel toward your body and toward everybody. So start to feel not what you're feeling love toward, but feel the love quality of the fabric of the loving. That is loving, accepting, non-judgmentally, interconnected, interbeing, safe. So feel that as a discovery of essential interconnectedness, basic goodness, innocence that can be with whatever confusions and ignorances have arisen through your life and been acted on. Or so there's a kind of forgiveness and gratitude. Feel that kind of gratitude if it's here, just for now, just for being this presence of loving awareness that's arising as this imperfect human being and everyone and everything in the world. Just at this subtlest level, feel this. And then at the level where it arises from awareness to aliveness. Before it comes into particularness and knowing that it does allow yourself to feel who you are at the most essential level in this contemplative dimension that all have longed for and has been the sacred and the most sought after dimension of safety and connection, forgiveness, basic goodness, well-being, unconditional love, joy, truth. Without words, beyond words, just feel this. That you are as this, from this. Familiarize yourself with this so that it is this a meditation state, or could this be who you essentially are? Just curious, just asking the not knowing that knows. Maybe there's no answer, just curious. If it is who we essentially are, would I want to keep resourcing with this and bringing it into my life? Reconnecting and living from here, knowing this is here. And then curiously, where am I aware from? What is the feeling of being? Just asking the feeling, the not knowing, the new knowing for the answer, the felt sense answer. What is the feeling of being? Feel into that. Feel into this. And you allow any parts that might be resistant or protective to let you feel this unconditional loving, healing presence. Just allow them to either come along or take a look and see. They don't have to be ready if they don't want to, but just ask them to wait as you familiarize yourself with this that you are. Doesn't have to be one way or extreme, just a glimpse. All parts are welcome, but you can ask them. They might step back if they're not ready for this quite yet. Notice the ones that are, how they're enjoying the forgiveness and freedom and love. So just again, staying here and home, familiarizing, and just this movement to notice the intelligence or the clarity. So the empty essence, the clarity, the knowing, could use intelligence so that we don't have to go back to the mind. We don't have to go back to create a commentator or a doer, though they're welcome to move through or come on down to this heart mind if they want to come down, or move through the boundless heart, but no need to go up to create a commentator, or just find that clarity as well as the emptiness and the compassionate activity or the union. Find the consciousness of clarity and simplicity as you open your eyes and just let everything settle back in. So, so this kind of introduction to these qualities, these essential qualities, which take us into this way that pure awareness and humanness start to ground, so that we don't have to be in this only this pure awareness that's painless and that's like a movie screen, and the other is this kind of secondary movie going by, that we're really inhabiting our life with this, starting to feel this essential ground of being is really the key possibility for us here. We offer this podcast freely thanks to the donations of kind listeners like you. If you'd like to be a supporter of this podcast, please visit lochkelly.org/donate. We are grateful for your tax-deductible donation.